let me first introduce myself. Presently, I'm a BTech in computer science and MBA in finance. And presently, I'm having almost 3.5 years of experience in analytics industry. Basically, I'm a predictive modeler. Till so far in my life, I have worked in SAS and R. So on diverse areas like logistic regression, linear regression, cluster analysis. Time series forecasting. Recently, I worked on text analytics and machine learning techniques also. So I thought I can help you in understanding the analytics industry overall and what kind of career you can expect out here. So that's the ultimate intention. Let me start with sharing the agenda first. Briefly, we'll be covering about the two broad areas. Two broad areas will be covered. One is the business analytics industry overall. Here we'll be talking about the industry side kind of work we do, kind of segment we are having within analytics industry, kind of growth potential we have witnessed so far, kind of challenges we are encountering. Now this part will help you to understand how to equip yourself so that you can get into analytics industry. And the later segment, in the last segment, I'll be talking about the career opportunities related to analytics. What are the skill set that you need? What are the hard skill? What are the soft skills that you should develop? And kind of career growth and kind of role you can expect from this kind of industry that will be broadly covered in the last segment. So this is overall my agenda. Basically, I'll try to cover everything within half an hour. Then I'll be opening this platform for you people to ask any question that you are having. I'm expecting that you will be having a lot of questions. So I'll try my level best to spend on those segment also, on that segment where you can shoot your questions, right? Is that all right? Hello? Okay, thank you. Let me start with explaining what is analytics. Analytics is all about data and how you are processing your data to infer some knowledge or information from the data that you are having. Now, your data can be when you are running your organization, you can have multiple sources of data. One thing. You can have multiple types of data. Your data can be operational data, your data can be financial data, your data can be transactional data. These are data that you are storing within your organization. And there can be multiple sources outside the organization as a data source, potential data source. You can as an e-commerce industry, you can if you are working in e-commerce industry, you might be exposed to external source of data, or you are working in social media analytics, you will be exposed to several data sources which are actually not internal to the organization, and you might be exploring a lot of data mining and predictive analytics techniques using data from outside the organization. So analytics is all about handling data and how you are analyzing those data to get some information so that you can build your knowledge base, you can take well-informed decision for your business to solve the business problem or to make a sound judgment for your future. So this is how analytics is defined actually. I would request you not to put any question. I'll be giving you a lot of time at the end because it's not possible for me to every time the chat window, right?
Yeah, that's
okay. Now the next thing is that data can be structured and unstructured also. As an organization, you might store your entire employee data or your customer data in a relational database management system. You can store everything within a table. or you can simply put all your data into a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, if you are running a very small business. Now, all these are structural data. You are structuring your data on such a way that whenever you need the information, you can fetch those data, and you can analyze those data. And there can be multiple sources of unstructured data. Those data can be coming from social media sites like Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, even YouTube. Whenever you are chatting with someone in any social media platform, those chat history can also be a potential source of data which can be used for business purposes. Though there are some privacy policies that actually every site maintain, still those information and those data are useful. Now, previously what we used to have is Google used to be the only source of data for us. Only source of information of was Google. If I need to learn something about an industry, if I need to learn something about the consumer behavior related to a particular industry, what I used to do, I used to find a scholarly article written by someone, and I try to find those articles in the Google so that I can have a clear idea about the kind of business, how to solve a business problem related to an industry, right? Now, today, our scope has increased a lot. Whenever you are clicking a like button on your Facebook page, you are actually disclosing your preference, right? Whenever you are creating your Facebook profile, you are actually providing ample information about yourself, and all those informations are actually useful. You are generating some sort of information. So each and every social media site has become a potential source of information. So I'll be in the later slides, I'll be discussing about how rapidly we have the data had exploded in recent 1 or 2 years. But I'm just trying to give you a fair bit of idea about analytics is all about data, and today we are having multiple sources of information and data. So that's how I am starting with. Now let me come to the global industry, analytics industry. Now, whatever numbers I am putting in my slides, all these numbers are coming from the NASCOM report 2015, right? Today, analytics industry globally has become $121 billion US billion dollar market, right? Now, that is almost a GDP of 2 to 3 poor nation of Africa, right? This is how this industry is big, so big. And if you can see the CAGR rate at which this industry has gone, has encountered in last 3-4 years, it's phenomenal. In analytics can have two kinds of solutioning business. One is service and one is software. In the software, analytics as a software, we have encountered globally 9.7% CAGR growth. Now, it is more than India's GDP. It is more than China's GDP, rate of GDP. So, this is an industry which is beating all global growth standard. That is what I am trying to point it out here. If I am encountering a growth rate of 9.7%, our present world is not having that level of GDP at this point in time. But this industry is having that level of growth. That is only in analytics as a software segment. Analytics as a service segment, we are having 14.3% global growth that we have encountered from 2012. So we have encountered a phenomenal growth rate in last few years. Now, that is true for global analytics industry. That is also true for Indian analytics industry also. Now, this is the slide specifically I have mentioned the Indian analytics industry situation. Now, you can see we have encountered 24% CAGR growth from the year 2012, right? And we are going to have 1900 million US dollar market by 2018. CAGR growth of 24% in the segment of export only. All of us know that there is a huge scope of e-governance and analytics can be implemented for our domestic needs also, for solving a lot of problems. But that market is growing, but still I would not say that implementation is high. That market is also growing at a rapid pace of 26%. So it's a quite a promising market, promising industry. Not only in terms of these numbers, but also we are having a huge number of analytics firms coming into the Indian analytics landscape. We have almost 500 plus analytics startup. I'm only talking about analytics startup. The startups which are only catering to the analytics industry needs. And no country in the world has encountered this kind of growth in specifically analytics industry, not even in the times of IT boom. This is how this industry is booming. Numbers are too high, too tall numbers. You compare this industry with any other industry at this point in time, you can see the comparison, right? Now let me come to the analytics landscape, analytics ecosystem in India. We have almost every kind of analytics company present in Indian soil at this point in time. Now we have global captive companies like HSBC, CT, Google, McKinsey, JP Morgan, HP, Dell. Now these companies are captive in nature. They have their in-house analytics team, analytics department, which is actually catering to the analytics need for themselves only. They are not catering to their outside customer. They are catering for, they are providing an analytics solution for their own, for themselves only. So that's why they are called captive units. Now there are multiple, there are big pure analytics companies. Their main business line of business is analytics solution. Now you have New Sigma, ZS Associate, Fractal Analytics, Absolute Data. These are the companies which are having main business as analytics. So these are pure analytics companies. Now then we are having BPO companies. Their main line of business was BPO. They realized the potentiality of analytics and they actually acquired expertise in the analytics, and they have right now having a different vertical of analytics altogether. Companies like Genpact, EXL, WNS, Quattro, eClerx are all mainly BPO companies. Their main line of a service line is BPO, but they have positioned themselves into the market in such a way that they also have an offering for analytics. Okay. Now, next segment we are having integrated firms. Firms like TCS, CTS, Wipro, Infosys, Accenture. Now, these companies are present in multiple line of business. Like they are consulting, they are doing management consulting, they are doing technology consulting, they are into the development of the technology, they are also into the maintenance of the technology, they have the BPO division with them also, and they have also incorporated analytics as a practice within their firm. Now these companies are integrated companies, okay. And lastly, we are having product-based analytics companies. Now if you want to do analytics, you need to analyze data. For that you need tools. You need tools, and there should be some players in the market who will be providing you those tools. Now companies like Adobe or companies like SAS are those product-based analytics companies which are actually concentrating on developing more and more useful tools which will cater to the upcoming challenges in the market. Now this is overall analytics landscape in India, and if you see the presence of analytics company across India, obviously Bangalore is taking the major pie, 30%, and Delhi NCR is also taking a fair bit of of the pie. 25% is almost taken by Gurgaon, Delhi, Noida, and whereas 30% is taken by Bangalore, and some 24% has been taken by Mumbai and Pune. Now there is a difference in all these three segments, in three areas. Mainly in Bangalore, you will be finding those companies which are mainly integrated firms, right? And in Delhi NCR region, you will be finding most of the companies which are consulting or strategy-based companies, which are also having analytics as a practices. And as you all know that Mumbai is actually a financial hub. So Mumbai Pune region will be mainly catering to the financial analytics segment in near future, and it is also catering the same kind of need at this moment. Despite having a huge pool of talent coming out from Kolkata, unfortunately, landscape presently is not promising. So that is how the situation is, and Hyderabad will be mainly taking the pie for business intelligence and reporting segment, whereas Delhi NCR will be mainly taking the pie for management consulting jobs related to analytics. Bengaluru will be taking care of mostly IT integrated firms, and whereas financial analytics will be taking major pie from the financial analytics segment. Now this is how the spread of the analytics ecosystem in India. Okay, now let me move on to the next segment. Now this is the slide where I'll be talking about the challenges in this industry. Particularly, I have categorically put this slide just to show you the kind of challenges we are having for this particular industry, so that you can equip yourself in a better way. You can prepare yourself in a very structured manner so that you can get into this industry. Look, analytics has flourished from the year 2008, when we actually encountered recession. At that time, we really felt that we need to retrospect our effectiveness, our cost effectiveness, our efficiency, the way we do our work. Everything went toss in the year 2008, and that is the time we realized the huge potentiality of analytics. Be it cost effectiveness, cost reduction, efficiency building, process improvement, all these things came into the picture with the help of analytics in India. And in the year 2012 to 2015, we have encountered a huge boom of e-commerce, social media, all these kind of booming has came. Now, you can see the volume of the data. The two things I would like to address at this moment: the variety of the data and velocity of the data. Both has changed, both has increased a lot. In the year 2003, we used to talk about data in GB. Right now, we talk about data in TB. Even your hard disks, external hard disks, will be having at least 1 TB space, because without that, you will not be able to download any Blu-ray films also, right? This is the situation. You just see the trend. In 2016, we talk about gigabyte, because we have abundant source of information. We have 800 million Facebook users. We have 250 million Twitter users. We have 6 billion YouTube users. If all of these users started expressing themselves, if all of these users started disclosing about themselves in this social media platform, can you imagine the level of velocity at which the data will be generated? And what will be the variety of the data? Those data can be structured data, can be unstructured data. Are you equipped to store this information? Are you equipped to store these data so that you can analyze those data, you can structure those data, you can generate some information from those data, you can build knowledge from those information, you can take well-informed decision from that knowledge? Can you do that? That's the challenge we are facing in the analytics industry at this point in time. All of the MNC CEOs has acknowledged the potentiality of analytics. There is no doubt on that. Even though the volume of the data has increased a lot, we have encountered a tenfold increase in the amount of data we are handling today with respect to the 2013 figure. Similarly, we have almost reduced the storage cost by 99% compared to 2000. That has actually created a huge space for doing business with data. Taking all these into consideration, still problem remains same. We are encountering data at a huge velocity with wide variety. How to solve that? Now, that's the biggest challenge that we are having at this moment, and that's the reason why I am putting this slide and trying to spend more time on this slide, because you need to be well equipped with this kind of challenges. You should equip yourself with newer technologies. You need to be flexible. You need to be adaptive. Today we are talking about SAS, R, maybe Python. Maybe in next 10 years we'll be encountering Anaconda as a language. We might be encountering already there is high peak, Hadoop. All these technologies has actually came into the picture. Even after 10 years, we might be having different set of technologies to solve different kind of problem. What I'm trying to say is that you need to be well equipped. You need to be adaptable. You need to grasp all the new technologies that is coming into the market. It is highly volatile field, analytics, because it's a challenging field. You will be seeing that people coming out from the diverse field, and everyone is having their own level of imagination, whole level of ideas. That's why it's challenging. Their thinking pattern is not same. Their solutioning is different. All of them will be coming with newer ideas, and that's why the market is competitive. And on the top of that, you have newer technologies, newer tools available. You need to adopt those technologies. You need to adopt those languages, everything. So that's why that's when you will be valued. When you have the adaptability, you have the imagination power. You can think properly. Then definitely analytics is a very promising career for you. Now moving on to the next segment. Here I have listed down all the analytics implementation across multiple line of industries. I am not getting into the details of all of these industries and how analytics are doing work in these across these industries, but I am more interested in figuring out which industry has the highest adaptation rate and what is the potentiality lies in these industries in terms of analytics. Now, as you can see, BFSI, telecom, and e-commerce has high adaptation rate. That means in most of these most of the companies across these industries, you'll be finding more structured solutioning of more structured analytics solution, whereas healthcare education has a very low adaptation rate. So if you ultimately land up in a job in a healthcare domain, you have an ample scope to create new models, ample scope to provide newer solution that will not only broaden your expertise and your exposure, but also newer growth opportunities in the professional field also. Retail, manufacturing, advertising are having very medium adaptation rate with a very high level of potentiality, and newer techniques are also coming in this segment. Overall, this is how things are looking like at this point in time across various industries. So you can always go with those list of areas that has been covered that I am not going to discuss in the details. You can always refer to the slide when you want. Now let me come to the job market in India. What kind of job profile across various analytics practices you can expect in this Indian job analytics market. Now this is the slide. This is the information that I am showing again from the NASSCOM 2015 report. As you can see that almost 20% of the analytics job has been taken by risk analytics domain. Now risk analytics doesn't mean that it should be financial risk only. It can be operational risk, it can be compliance risk, you can have Basel norms. You need to, as bank, BFSI entity, you need to follow those norms. There are multiple companies which are working on those compliance analytics kind of work. Also, there are fraud-based analytics work also going on in multiple captive financial firms. So, risk analytics is a huge job market at this moment. Then comes the reporting job. This is reporting or business intelligence is something which can't be called as a predictive modeling. You are not predicting about the future. Rather, what you are trying to do, you are trying to explain what has happened, why it has happened. You are exploring your data that you are having, but with the help of that data, you are not trying to predict your future. Rather, you are trying to explain what has happened. So, broadly, reporting is all about that. Reporting requires a good level of programming knowledge that I will be discussing in the next segment. Now, I would like to talk about marketing analytics also, because most of the startup companies are working in marketing analytics at this moment. Marketing analytics is taking 9% of the total analytics job at this moment. That's huge. It's a very significant number, and it's going to increase, because when I am having almost 500 plus odd startup companies running in India, and all of them are interested in marketing analytics, now this number is going to increase. Retail analytics has some potentialities. Companies like Spencer or any other retail companies are having their analytics practices at this point in time, and in near future there is a possibility that retail analytics and e-commerce analytics has somehow overlapped. We have Flipkart, we have Amazon, and there are multiple e-commerce companies present at this moment, which is basically a retail online retail companies. So retail and e-commerce has a great potentiality, and it is challenging because to get into this kind of industry, you need different kind of skill set. So retail and marketing is going to increase. Digital analytics is also going to increase. Specifically, media houses are nowadays are taking analytics as a very, very important segment for themselves. They are taking it very seriously. So digital analytics has the chance. Now let me come to healthcare analytics. I already told you that it is in nascent stage. We don't have a proper healthcare solution in our in place in India, but there are multiple big players coming in India, setting up their own in-house BPOs, and where they are actually practicing healthcare analytics. Companies like United Health Group is also doing that. In EXL, you'll be finding a lot of healthcare practices. We have companies like Mercer, which is also working on healthcare analytics. Supply chain is a huge domain, has a huge potentiality. The only difficulty is that we are still a service-based country, and our manufacturing is not that great segment to our GDP. If we have the manufacturing, a heavy industry in place, supply chain analytics is going to be a major player for our efficiency building. That is something I believe. Now, big data has 4% market pie at this moment, but I would say big data has a huge potentiality. Big data is a huge potentiality just because we cannot imagine the level of difficulty that we are going to face in the near future in handling and storing the data. This is as simple as that. So, if this kind of challenges is going to prevalent in next future, we need sophisticated programmer, we need sophisticated people with good level of skill set to handle this kind of problem. So big data is going to be a very promising career. And in the very up in the ladder, you can see there is strategic analytics and consulting. Now this segment is all about major consulting players like McKinsey, Accenture, BCG, Bain. These companies are basically consulting companies. Their main business is consulting. There is a difference between consulting and analytics. Consulting tries to provide solution in the long-term basis, whereas analytics provides solution in the short-term basis. Short to mid-range solutioning can be done using analytics, whereas consulting will give you long-term vision, long-term strategy kind of thing. So consulting doesn't mean that you will be handling data. Solutioning of a consulting firm can be approach-driven, not only data-driven. Whereas solutioning of an analytics firm will be completely data-driven. So what I'm trying to say is that consulting strategic analytics is taking almost 5% of the job. These are very sophisticated jobs because these are the jobs are offered by most of the consulting players like McKinsey, Bain, BCG, Accenture, mainly consulting companies. Okay, now moving on to the next segment, I'll be covering this later. I'll be first covering this section, job designation in analytics. In analytics, as I told you earlier, there can be three kinds of segment. One is predictive modeling. If you want to get into a predictive modeling job, what are the things that you should know? You should have a sound knowledge of statistics. First and foremost thing, you should have a sound knowledge of statistics. Second, you should be a problem solver. You should have the ability to think logically. Ultimately, you have the ability to solve the business problem. Now, this is something I'm talking about the soft skill. It will not like that. You can practice this kind of skill set and you can be a master on that. Obviously, if you get into an analytics job, you will be learning how to solve problems. But there are some inborn problem solvers. I know this is a certain trait that if you are having, analytics is definitely is your industry. You need to be a problem solver. You should have a sound statistical knowledge, and lastly, you should have some basic exposure of analytics tools like SAS, R, and SQL, Excel, all these things. That is the prerequisite to get a job in predictive modeling, specifically predictive modeling. Now the second segment is business intelligence and reporting. Now this is a segment where you need to be a good programmer. You need to be a very, very good programmer. You should know tools like ClickView. You should know tools like Tableau. These are visualization tools. You should also know SAS and a bit of R. You should know SQL so that you can handle minimum level of data and you can produce some good level of graph and bar chart, pie chart. There are a lot of promising technologies that has came into this segment that is going to be prevalent in the next 5 or 10 years. You need to adopt those things also. And in the last segment, we will be having big data, where your skill set is mainly the hard skill. You need to be a very, very, very good programmer. Not only that, you should know Hadoop. You should know HiPig, NoSQL, T-SQL, all of those new cutting-edge technologies, or to handle unstructured data and huge volume of structured data. So basically, potentialities for you. One is predictive modeling, second is BI and reporting, and third is big data analytics. Now, job designation varies across all the companies, but basically this is how it will be. Basically, you will be having 3 categories of job in the market. If someone is offering you a job, try to figure it out whether that job is a predictive modeling job, reporting job, or is it a big data analytics job. If you are able to figure it out, it will be better for you to match those skill sets, match those basic requirements. So I have already discussed about all these things. I'm not going to discuss again SAS, R, Hadoop, Python. These are the skill set. These are the tool knowledge that you will be having, and in which of these 3 segments these tool knowledge will be required, that I have discussed. Now, lastly, I would like to talk about the analytic salaries. Now, these are indicative figures that I am putting at this moment. But to give you a very honest truth, I would like to say you that in any industry, salaries are defined by the demand and supply. This is as simple as that. Not by your skill set, not by your qualification, or not from the kind of institute you are coming from. Industry standards are always defined by the demand and supply. Now, right now we are having huge demand, and our supply is increasing, but it's still not meeting the demand level. That's the reason why we are having slightly better salaries across all the band in analytics industry compared to any other industry. You take it from IT, information technology, you take it from sales and marketing, you take it from branding, you consider any other kind of job you can imagine or you can think about, and you compare that job with analytics job, try to, in just respect of salaries, you'll be finding that analytics is well paid off job, just because demand is high, supply is low. Now, in the fresher level, you can expect 4.5 lakhs salary, but if you ultimately land up in a very, very big organization, consulting giants like Accenture or McKinsey or BCG, this kind of company will offer at least twice than 4.2. That definitely those companies are outlier, but generally you can expect 4.5 lakh average salary in the fresher level. And as you can see, when you move up to the ladder, you are having a very potential growth rate. When you can relate that this industry is having CAGR growth of 26% from 2012. So you can imagine what kind of growth you can expect in terms of salary hike every year. That is how exactly is reflecting in this slide. In 2 to 4 years of time span, you can expect 7 lakh. 4 to 6 years, you can expect 10 lakh, around 10 lakh. No engineers today is earning this much. No person coming out from finance analytics, financial analysis or any other field is earning that much at this point in time. So I think what I'm trying to say is that this is the ideal time to get into analytics, because demand is high, supply is low. That's why you will be valued most, and that's why you can expect a good level of salary. Now, overall, that is my presentation. I will open up for all kinds of queries that you are having at this moment. Okay, Abhishek is saying that, sir, I have experience in marketing for nearly 5 years. I want to move into analytics since I have interest in the field for a long time. I have the following queries. I often find in job portals that for data analyst or data scientist posts, companies generally ask 3 to 5 years experience in relevant field. In such scenario, how to go about? I have basic programming knowledge only, but since I have never worked with coding in any company will be very difficult for me. How to overcome to crack any interview? What company generally look into candidate when they are hired for analytics job? When can minimum hike or package you can expect? Abhishek, you have multiple level of question, but the basic thing will remain same actually. Let me tell you, if you are having 5 years of experience, you want to move into analytics, you can't expect that the kind of level you are having in your own field, you'll be getting the same thing in the analytics. Your mindset should be different, because when you're trying to get into analytics, nobody will be thinking that you are coming up with 5 years of analytics experience. You are coming into the analytics field with certain skill set. That is the assumption that they will be doing. Okay, now to get into analytics, so what kind of soft skill and hard skill are needed, that I have discussed. Now, one more thing that I would like to advise is that in 5 years, you must have done certain level of work which might be relevant for analytics, which might be very, very close to analytics. Try to project all those things. Try to sell yourself in such a way that your profile looks like a analytics profile. And also you need to learn those hard tool skills like SAS, R and everything. And you should have a basic problem solving skill. Your statistics should be good. If you I am assuming that you are having all those things, then what you can do is you can project your profile as an analytics profile. Try to modify your profile. Try to make relevant analytics work or analysis kind of work that you have done in your 5 years of time span. Try to project all those things in your CV. And this is the only way you can actually shortlist your CV at this point in time. But if you do that in a very planned manner, I can guarantee you that it is quite possible. Okay? Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, Devashish. This is Anik here.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I am aspiring for a job in market research analytics actually, and that is also in a freelance basis. So, could you please help me in this regard? If what is the scope for freelance market research in the analytics field?
Firstly, it is dependent on the geography that you are sitting in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so obviously to do certain level of freelancing, you are dependent on the local market, right? Mm-hmm. First and foremost thing that you should be knowing that in which geography you are sitting in, what is the business potentiality of that geography. When you are talking about freelancing, you are totally dependent upon the local market. If you want to do a bigger thing, you need to set up your own organization. You need to have a very solid consulting or solid analytics background to start a new venture. Then only you will be in a situation to fetch some good local client, domestic client, or international client. Now, to achieve that, you need at least 10 years of hardcore analytics or consulting experience. I'm not getting into that. Let me be very specific in my answer. If you are looking for freelancing, it is totally dependent upon the local market and kind of networking you are having.
Okay.
So my advice would be to make a planned entry. Rather thinking about the execution at the very beginning, you should concentrate on creating some channels or creating some potential areas where you can actually link up with a lot of people and try to sell your ideas to them. Unfortunately, until unless you are not into the system, nobody is going to trust you. Be it a freelancing job, be it a hardcore consulting or your own startup. Until and unless you are having the strong credibility with you, this kind of thing is very, very challenging for you. So try to do that level of groundwork first, right?
And like you mentioned that there are 3 categories of analytics, like predictive modeling, BI, and reporting. So in market research analytics, which categories applies actually?
It's basically an exploratory market research analytics. In my opinion, market research is a different segment, and marketing analytics is a different segment altogether. When you are talking about market research, you are talking about companies like IMRD. You are talking about companies like Frost and Sullivan, right? These companies actually they are having clients like suppose HUL. HUL is entering into a new market. Suppose Nigeria. Suppose HUL is trying to make a planned entry into a Nigerian market, right? Now they don't have any idea about Nigerian FMCG market. They hire IMRB to gain the knowledge about Nigerian market. Now that is market research, right? And when we talk about marketing analytics, that is different thing altogether. Suppose, let me give you an example. Suppose I can buy milk, I can buy butter, I can buy tea in a shop. I can buy these products. if someone is buying milk and sugar, what is the probability that that particular person will be also buying coffee? So can I promote related product?
Okay.
This is an implementation of marketing analytics, right? Hope you have understood what I'm trying to say.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Dave here. I had a few
Yeah.
questions.
Yes.
As I've already mentioned, I'm a BCom graduate and I'm a fresher at the moment. I'm doing my business analytics course from ISWBM. We have been trained for Excel, SPSS, R, SQL. Our data mining classes have started, which involve Python as well. And we are about to start off with SAS, like in a day or two. So, base SAS basically. So, my question to you is, what am I expecting here? Being a BCom graduate, a fresher, and learning all these like the courses and softwares, and also we are getting a knowledge of stats from here. Like we are learning everything, but not in a very developed way, but in a very basic manner. So what is my practical, what should I be expecting at the moment from like while I'm sitting for an interview? Uh, what should
Expectation
be
is
my
very I have
yeah.
understood your question.
Yes,
Expectation is
sir.
very basic. Uh, I have taken a lot of interviews in my career, and I have seen people taking interviews to freshers also. What I can say is that at the entry level, expectation is very bare minimum. I'm giving you an example. Suppose you are going for a predictive analytics role. The least thing that that someone your interviewer will be asking from you is that you know the assumption of logistic regression, linear regression, when to use what, the basic concept of linear regression, logistic regression, time series forecasting, the assumption of each and every model, the basic thing. Nobody will be asking you to code that thing in front of them, to implement that as solution in front of them. Nobody will be asking that. But if your basics are not correct, you will not be inducted anywhere. It's not about your background, it's not about any other parameters. I can definitely tell you that today you might be learning SAS, you might be learning R. That is not the ultimate thing. Your statistics should be good if you are trying to landing up in a predictive modeling job, because that's the first thing. You will be using the statistical concept. Using those techniques, you will be solving the business problems, right? SAS is just a tool, R is just a tool where you will be using those statistical techniques. So if your basics are not clear, then you will not be inducted. So I have a lot of queries posted. Let me go one by one. I am asking everyone to pause for a minute. Prakhar is saying, what would you look in a candidate profile for offering a job in the analytics industry? So Prakhar, I just answered this question. The basic should be very clear. You should be crystal clear about the basic thing. If you are coming from a statistical background or non-statistical background, but you are actually trying to get into analytics, your basic thing should be very clear. Your statistics, basic means your statistics, and some preliminary idea about SAS and R, how to handle basic data thing in R and SAS. That will be sufficient to get into a job, but most of the time, candidates are not having this level of skill set. That's the problem of this industry. Now, Abhishek Jain is saying, I have 5 years of IT experience. I want to move into Hadoop. What should be the career path? How a company will match my salary expectation as just I'm a fresher? I don't think salary will be a problem because you are actually coming out from an IT background. So your basic background is if your basic background is development, IT development, definitely big data is your field. If you are a good programmer, big data will be your field. and adopting technologies like Hadoop, NoSQL, T-SQL, Hive, will be very, very easy for you, and companies are ready to pay you. Salary will not be a problem, and your past experience will be considered also. Specifically, I am talking about you. Your IT experience will not go in vain. Okay. Then the next question is, I want to go into visualization field.
Yeah, Debashish?
Let me come to that. I'm going one by one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead, please. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
Debashish, this is Shweta. I was just kind of guiding you to an interesting question from Sandhya, who says that she has done her BSc nursing and now she's working as a systems matter expert for the healthcare domain. So now she is planning to do a business analytics. So she says, can you please tell me what would be the scope of this thing for her?
That person is actually interested in analytics, no one can stop him or her to get into analytics, right? Now the thing is that initially there will be challenges. I know everyone will be facing the same level of challenges. That initially someone has project away that accepted. That is the hurdle. So analytic domain make these are is the what kind of work you have done. Is it related to analytics? Is it going to make any value for an organization if that person has been taken into that organization? And that person should be always equipped with certain new techniques like SAS, R, and statistics. So basic thing will remain same. People coming out from a diverse area will be having same question, I know, but answer will remain same. Try to project your profile in such a way that it looks like an analytics related profile. Try to project yourself on that note, right? Log and SCM, logistic and supply chain management. How can I use analytic skill in logistic and supply chain management? Supply chain management and logistic as a huge potentiality for analytics. Be it inventory management, be it replenishment, stock management, warehouse network management, or network optimization. Anywhere you go, you will be seeing everywhere analytics has been implemented. Let's talk about inventory planning. For inventory planning, you need a good forecast fast. First and foremost thing you need is a good forecast for your stocks, right? So here you need to have a very good sound knowledge of forecasting. Okay, now when you talk about network optimization, you have multiple warehouses and every material should be supplied in the right time, and every material should be supplied to right place at right time. So this is a network optimization problem. So if you talk about that, there are n number of analytics algorithm came into the picture in last 1 or 2 years. There is a huge scope into it. Okay, then when your forecast is all right, you can think about efficiency building. You can figure it out what could be the sales target to your potential sales representative. What can be the compensation plan for them? Whole new framework can be created when your forecast is very good, when your networks are optimized, when your inventory planning are proper. So in supply chain and logistics, there is a huge scope, and it is not like that it is not working. It is working. It is perfectly working in a company like Flipkart or Amazon. Even in ITC has very strong supply chain logistic analytics platform also. Even HUL is also doing same kind of work. So how can I use analytic skills? These are the scope that I have mentioned. Skills, if you are talking about skills, skills will remain same ultimately. Obviously, if you are having some inventory background, that will be helpful. Inventory or network optimization background, some sort of business knowledge that you can acquire from operational management kind of background will help. As per my finding in IB, in regard to Hadoop courses compared with other institutes covering less topic, could you please correct if my understanding is, I am not fully aware about that. I am not taking any Hadoop courses, so
Yeah, I
you
think.
need to have it.
Yeah, sorry. I think we need
Yes,
to,
Shweta.
yeah, we would need to take this offline with you and probably get you in touch with the Hadoop trainer to make things clear. I think probably Devashish will not be the right person to answer this question. Any other questions, please?
What would be the best tool that can be used in logistic and supply chain? Look, the problem is that ITC has their own logistic and supply chain tool, okay, and IBM, Accenture has n number of manufacturing clients with them, right? Every consulting companies or every analytics company today is having some sort of manufacturing client. For those clients, they are building tools. These tools are proprietary tools. Okay, now once you get into this kind of company, you need to learn those proprietary tools. That is the biggest problem in the supply chain and logistic domain specifically. I know there are few tool has been developed by Accenture. Name of that tool is iPod. Now same kind of tool has been also developed by IBM with some other name. Okay, ITC has their own inventory solutioning some tool. HU will be also having some sort of tool. So this is a problem, but if you are actually from operational management kind of background, that will help. And beside that, every predictive modeling can be done in SAS or R. So if you are having that knowledge, that will be great, because that is how you can market your market value will increase. When you know R, you are not dependent on the company. You are generic. When you only dependent on proprietary software knowledge, you are dependent on the company. Hope you understood what I am trying to say. I told you that SAS R will increase your market value. If you know that will be great. Because all kind of modeling or all kind of inventory solution can be done in SAS. If you get into that kind of job and if you try to provide all the solution in SAS and R, that will increase your own market value. Obviously, everyone will be using the same tool out there. But if you try to do something and you can explore certain new things in SAS and R, obviously you can contribute something more. Right? For a new learner from non-IT background, will it be beneficial if he start with BI tools, then move on to SAS and R? That is how the course material is designed in IB, at least. That is something I know. Because students are taught Excel first, then SQL, and in the meantime you will be learning statistics. Then you will be going to SAS and R courses. At the very last, you will be learning those tools, not at the beginning. Can you suggest any companies in Kolkata who are hiring freshers in analytics field? I can't talk about Kolkata at this moment because I am out of Kolkata for a long period of time. I know few startups has came, CBI Analytics and some more companies are working, but I am not sure about what kind of work they are doing.
Abhishek, we'll get you
at
connected.
entry level.
Sorry, Abhishek, we can get you connected to experts here in Kolkata. You don't worry about that.
Okay. Yeah, IB has more expert from Kolkata.
Right. So we've just got about 2 minutes odd now for the webinar to get over. So I think maybe people have some really like urgent questions. They can, bombard you with that for the next 2 minutes.
Okay, any more questions?
Yeah, yes. We will be sharing the PPT and the recordings. Don't worry. I think we'll just be sharing it to you within tomorrow or day after tomorrow. All right. So, are we through? Any other questions? You can write into us. Yes, we will share, the recordings. And in case you have any other questions that you want to ask Devashish, you can just write into me. I will be sending you the recorded session, and you can just reply back with your questions, and maybe Devashish will be happy to answer it over mail to you.
Okay, not a problem, not a problem. Sure.
Yeah. Right. So thank you so much for attending, and thank you so much, Debashish, for such a wonderful session on the career into analytics. And I'm sure a lot of us have
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of knowledge and wisdom now to get into this high demand field with a low supply. So that's something which is very easy to understand, high demand and low supply for anyone. So that's about it. I think we'll say goodbye and good night to everyone. Thank you for logging in at this time, and Devashish to take out such of your time. And thank you so much. Let's see, we can catch up some other time. All right.
Okay, thank you, Sweta.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
everyone.
Devashish, and thanks everyone, all the attendees.